Today's history rundown within the world of Marvel's Midnight Suns is actually brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now today we're going to be giving you a brief rundown of the Hunter, the original character who was created for Marvel's Midnight Suns. While the backstory and the lore are established in the game, they're actually pulled from the larger Marvel universe, and you'll be able to customize this character a lot to make them the ideal Hunter for you to use. Now they were created specifically for Marvel's Midnight Suns. The Hunter is the first fully customizable Marvel character ever created. Players will be able to change their physical appearance, including gender and hairstyles, but the customization doesn't stop with how you look. You'll also be able to change how your Hunter fights, changing their abilities to focus on various forms of combat, fighting alongside the classic characters of the Marvel Universe. Now in the game's lore, the Hunter is the child of Lilith, the mother of demons, who first appeared in Ghost Rider number 28 in 1992. Her comic book origins are a bit hazy, with some telling that she was a fallen angel, while others claim that she was the first woman ever created. What is known is that she is immortal and has lived on the Earth for an unknown number of years, taking part in several important events of human history. In the game's lore, she was once an immortal sorceress who fell in love with a mortal man and gave birth to Hunter. But her love died of the plague, and Lilith was overcome with grief. This twisted her heart, and she would become the mother of demons, turning towards evil and becoming a threat to humanity. With her demon armies spreading across the earth, she wanted one thing only: to release Chthon upon the world. Chthon was an elder god of the ancient world, who, along with his siblings, became a demon and ruled it. He studied the dark magics of the universe, eventually writing down his teachings in what would later become known as the Darkhold. Chthon escaped our world before he could be killed, using his power to escape the flickering realm, but a part of his power remained in the Darkhold, and his chambers, which were located upon what would be known as the Wundagore Mountain. He has tried several times to return to the realm of Earth, even marking Wanda Maximoff to one day be the avatar of his return, but he was always stopped by Wanda and the Avengers. When Lilith turned to evil, Hunter was taken away by Lilith's sister, Caretaker. They were trained to fight against Lilith, to protect humanity from her darkness. Hunter would eventually face her mother, but gave the ultimate sacrifice and was killed in the process. Both were buried and forgotten in the darkness of time. But legends would become unearthed, and it was the organization known as Hydra, a group founded in World War II by the Red Skull, that would later discover them. Hydra then used the combination of science and dark magic to resurrect Lilith, augmenting her to make her even more powerful. But Hunter was brought back as well, to once again take up arms against their mother. But they must also struggle with their inner darkness as well. But this time, they're not alone. They have the heroes of Earth standing by their side. Now the Hunter leads their forces from the Abbey, a fortress that once stood in Transia, where Mount Wundagore and the Darkhold were located. But it is now located in a pocket dimension near Salem, Massachusetts. The building is unassuming from the outside. It serves as a base of operations for the Midnight Suns, a group that has protected the Earth from supernatural threats for centuries. The Abbey is protected from Lilith's forces, allowing the Hunter to use it as a base of operations to wage their supernatural war. But don't worry, the Hunter isn't only fighting alongside the heroes of the Marvel Universe, they also have a Hellhound at their side. It was one of the Wolfmen of Valusia, another member of the Elder Gods that first spawned Garm, who became the Guardian of Hell. More pups would then be spawned from this, and the Hellhounds were created, powerful creatures of the underworld that make excellent guard dogs against both the supernatural and more mundane threats of the Earth. One of the most well-known was Loki's Hellhound, Thori, named for Thor, who was not amused that it was called Thori. Charlie is Hunter's Hellhound and is fiercely loyal, joining them on missions and fighting alongside them. More importantly, you can pet Charlie. How else will you know that she is the goodest girl? So there you have it, a brief history on the newest hero in Marvel's Midnight Suns. What adventures will Hunter get up to? How will you customize your version of them? You'll have to play Marvel's Midnight Suns to find out, and check back here as we continue to go over the many characters that you'll get to play in Marvel's Midnight Suns. Today's video is brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns.